Good morning, children. This video is for anyone who's working in the Pharaoh group. Here's your Fluent in 5 starter, so please pause the video now and answer the questions. And here are your answers. Today's learning, children, we are going to be telling the time using a 24-hour digital clock. This is going to help us with when we're doing our next part of statistics, which is timetables. Before we start with the learning, we're just going to go through a quick recap on using a clock face. So as you can see here, we've got a 12-hour clock face. Sometimes you'll see a 24-hour, and we'll be looking at that today, but you'll only see that on a digital clock. This is what we call an analog clock, because this only goes up to 12, whereas a digital clock will go up to 24 hours. Now, when we're looking at times, we look at this time here. It's currently 1:45. Now, the reason why is because the smaller hand represents the hour. So we always look at the hour first. So the smaller hand, if it's past a number, which here is 1, that means the hour is currently is 1 o'clock is the hour. As soon as it goes past 2 or exactly on 2 or past 2, then the hour becomes the hour of 2 o'clock. The other hand we've got here is the minutes. Now the minutes is representative of 60 minutes in 1 hour. 60 minutes in 1 hour. And each dot here we have is 5-minute intervals. Now if we look at our time here, we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So our minute hand is currently on 45. Now this other little hand that's going around is our seconds. Now we won't see this much on your diagrams, on your worksheets, but this allows us for then the minute hand to move a minute. Now because that's gone round, our minute hand is now on 46. Now it's quite difficult to see because we don't have the individual intervals here, but on the diagram you'll be able to see that, which I'll show you now. So if you see, we've got in our picture here, we've got these individual intervals. Now that they represent each a minute. So if you would count each one individually, you would get 60. But as we pointed out, we will use where they've got the numbers here as intervals of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. So this helps you identify the number much easier than just going counting 60, because they are quite fiddly each interval. When we're looking at 24-hour clock, sometimes if we were to write, if I was to say it's 9:27 now, we're not too sure whether that means in the morning or in the afternoon. Now, if it's in the morning, it'll be AM, which stands for anti-meridian. But we don't need to worry about what they each stand for. It's just we need to remember that AM is in the morning. And if it was in the afternoon, or in this case, the evening, it'll be PM, post-meridian. Now, I think sometimes people find it very difficult to remember which one's which. I always think, well, A is the first letter of the alphabet, so it's at the beginning. So AM is at the beginning of the first 12 hours. So this will help us. But sometimes you'll see on a digital clock that if it was on a digital clock and it goes up to 24 hours, we don't write 9:27 p.m. So you would have 9:27 in the morning, and then in the afternoon on a digital clock it will actually say 21:27, which means it's nearly 9:30 at night. Now the way I always like to remember this, because an analog clock is 12 hours because of our clock face here, I always feel that if you want to work out by looking at an analog clock face, and we know we're in the afternoon because we can tell by the time of the day that we've been up for most of the day, that it has been light, and now it's dark because we've gone into the evening night. Add 12 hours onto that time, and then that will give you what your hours should be. So we're now going to go through some of the questions. So it says here, match the analog clocks to the 24-hour clocks which show the same time. Now we'll take A first. As we can see, the hour hand is past 9 o'clock. It hasn't reached 10, so the hour hand is 9. Now, if we take 9 and we look at the hours, so when we're looking at digital, the hours are always on the left-hand side of these colons. Now, as we can see, we've got no 9 there, no 9 there, and no 9 there. So to work this out, if we add 12 to 9, we'll get 21, as we identified up here. So A and F, 2144 is correct. Now, with these questions, realistically, most of the time, you only actually have to look at the hour part when you're matching up. If we had all the same hours, if the hour hand was pointing to the same hour, then we would have to look at the minutes. Now we look at B. This is past the hour of 7. And we look at this last week, we've got a 7 there, but we haven't got a 7 there. And even if we added 12 onto the 7, that would give us 19. So we know that this time here is in the morning. So B and E match. Now C it's just gone past 12, but we never have, in this case, 12, if it goes past 12, it's either going to be midday or midnight. If it's midday, the hour in the hours will have the number 12, but if it's at midnight, we'll have 00. And this is what we've got here. So C matches up to D. The next question says, choose number cards to fill in the 24-hour clocks with 2 times which match the analog clock. So the first thing we want to do is actually work out what this time is if we were to say it's in the afternoon. So we know the hour hand has just gone past 2. So we know that we're going to put 2 there. And we must put a 0 here. We can't put the 2 there, because if we put the 2 there and put a 0 there, that will say 20. We're trying to say what we're saying, that we've got there's 2 hours. When our time here is our minute hand, and as we can see, if we go counting intervals of 5, 10, 15. Well, it's not on 15, it's just 1 minute extra. It's added, it's one more one, so it's not 15, it's 16. So it's 2:16. Now we've used a 0, a 2, a 1, and the 6. Now the minutes are never going to change when we're looking at 24-hour clock. The minutes will always stay the same, so we can use 1 and 6 again. We just need to work out what it would say on a digital clock. And remember what Mr. Taylor said, that when we're trying to find out what it would be on a digital clock, we add 12 to 2. 2 plus 12 is 14. So 16 is 2:16 in the afternoon. The last one we've got here, which of these times is the earliest, which of these times is the latest? Now we've got 3 digital clocks here and 3 analog clocks. What I would suggest doing here is, you can see that this says AM, AM and PM. I will convert these 3 clocks, analog clocks, to digital. So I'm just going to write here A equals, and we're going to go AM. Now remember what Mr. Taylor said about AM, it's in the morning. When it's in the morning, AM, we do not need to change the hour time. Whatever it's shown at the hour is the time it actually is. So here it's just gone past 6, so we know the hour is 6, and the minutes is what, 10, 11, 12, 12. So it's 6:06, 12 in the morning. That is what it would be on the digital. We'll write the digital here as well, because we've been given it. C, again, this is AM. So because it's in the AM, we know it's going to be in the morning. So the hour that it's just gone past is the number that's going to be in the hours. So we can see it's just gone past 3. So we put 0, 3. And in our minute hand, it's just gone past the 60. If we count in multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's gone 31, 32, 33. So it's 03, 33. D is 22, 41. E, now again another analog clock, but this is PM, so it's in the afternoon. So we need to look at the hours, which is, it's just gone past 10. So we won't put 10 here because it's in the afternoon or evening. We need to add 12. So 10 plus 12 is 22. I'm going to look at the minute hand now. We'll count round in multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. So it's 22, 49. And then F is 01, 12. So 1:12 in the morning. Now it says which of these times is the earliest and which of these times is the latest. Well, we can see that this number here is the earliest because it's just gone past midnight. And it's 37 minutes past midnight. Every other hour is greater. So we've got 3 o'clock, approximately 3 o'clock in the morning here, 6 o'clock. We've got 1 o'clock here, which is later than 37 minutes past midnight. So B is the earliest. C, oh sorry, not C. So the next one is which of these times is the latest. So we need to find out which number in the hours is the latest. Well, we can look at these two numbers here. They're both at 22 hours, which is 10 o'clock at night. So we now need to look at the minutes. When we look at the minutes here, both of them have got 4 here. But then if we look at 1 and 9 here, these are 2 different numbers. So we need to look at which one's the latest. We need to find out which number is the closest to the next hour, and that will identify. And because 49 is closer to the next hour, which is 2300 hours, we've got, this is going to be the latest time. So E is the latest time. Quite a lot to take in there, children, and I appreciate that. So pause the video, rewind it, rewatch it. Now if you go to task sheets and answer the questions. Best of luck.